just helps you to make sure you're engaging through the glute med a little bit. So we're not trying to push through the band like this, but just, I don't know whether you can see, point it this way, the band has a natural width. So all I'm doing is making sure the width stays like that between my legs. So I'm not pressing my knees together. If you press your knees together, you end up using your legs to hold you up. You want to take the exercise, the control away from your legs so that it all becomes about your glutes. So all you're doing is, switching to my Tabata round, is squeezing up through the heels. So squeeze up through the heels. You want to have your hands either in the air or put them onto your rib cage, because what you want to do is soften through the rib cage. See the difference here? I'm just going to push through my heels to come up in this one, and then if you watch the difference, if I push through my upper back, you can see I'm getting like loads of extension, but I'm just arching my back here. I'm using my shoulders. So all you want to do is emphasis through the weight through the heels only. So think about squeezing the bum first to initiate the movement. Squeeze through the heels to come up so that it becomes only glutes. And if you put your hands on your rib cage, they want to stay soft. If they pop or arch, it means that you're using your thoracic, your upper back to do it. So take all of that away, use your bum muscles only, okay? So we're doing 8 rounds of 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest in between. The 10-second rest in between, what I want you to do is lift your legs into tabletop. So you're looking for this right angle here. So as soon as I go there, that's way too much, way too much. As soon as I go here, that's actually quite easy. And the other thing that people often do is do this. And that also makes it easy. So you're looking for tabletop here in your rest period, which is only 10 seconds. Then your feet go down, 20 seconds. So we're doing 8 rounds. So starting, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So just squeezing, I'm just keeping my hands on my rib cage, checking in with my body that I'm only using my glute max, that big muscle that drives your running but often gets weak if we sit down too much. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Tabletop hold. Just turning this up a bit, I can't hear. So hold it. Again, soft rib cage. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and squeeze. So yes, you can do this and you can add loads of weights, but often it's quite good to just do the stability exercises if you're a runner or a triathlete, or anyone actually, because your body is very clever at diverting. 3, 2, 1, and hold. Diverting the exercises, the effort level away to another muscle that shouldn't be working. 3, 2, 1. So if you're using weight, a bit the same principle as Pilates. If you're using a weight, another stronger muscle that maybe is being overused instead of the one muscle that you want to do the action will take over. So if you're just doing this, then you're only working this glute max. And hold. So tabletop hold. Imagine you've got 4 glasses of water, 2 on your knees, 2 on your shins, and they don't fall down. 3, 2, 1, and squeeze. Again, soft ribs. You should be able to feel your glute max, which is the big one of 3 in your bum muscles. You should be able to feel it working. Sometimes you can't because it isn't actually 3, 2, 1. You've lost all activation or any connection to the bum muscles, which is another reason why you should do these. Again, soften your ribs. 3, 2, 1, legs down. So this is a really good one to do, and if you start doing this, and we're not trying to do it fast, you're only thinking about pushing through those heels, squeezing the bum muscles. To make it harder, you do 1 leg at a time. You can also add height. 3, 2, 1, by putting your feet on a chair, or maybe that's a bit high, a sofa. 3, 2, 1. There you go. Squeezing up. Pushing through the heels only, thinking about trying to squeeze that bum up, and the bum squeeze is the muscle that drives that movement up to this hip bridge. 3, 2, 1, and hold.
Rest.
Again, if you look in a mirror, are your legs at this nice right angle with the tabletop? 3, 2, 1, rest. So you might think holding my legs in the air is not actually doing anything. But you feel your core should absolutely be kicking in to hold that stability. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold, so soften the ribs, soften the ribs. Don't allow them to pop. Softening the ribs helps to stop any arch in your back. 3, 2, 1. Last one. So make sure you're only pushing through the heels. You can raise your toes in the air, and then it means you can't push through the front of the foot, and then it transfers the weight into your quads, and we don't want the quads to work. Our quads overwork so much. 3, 2, 1. Final hold.
Tabata complete.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Right, so just grab some water because I've done 2 sessions already today. So going into a side version of this now. So you're working the glute med. So the glute med sits here, round about there,
Stopping session.
and it helps to stabilise you as you run. So as your leg lands, your knee wants to stay straight. If your glute max is not working, you do this over roll, and this is when you get ITB problems. So this works really well. Again, you can use a band or not. We are going to switch in between this. So you're going to have your elbow directly underneath your shoulder. You can see how much that puts pressure on the shoulder if I'm out here, and also if I'm out here, that also puts pressure. So line it up. Think about what you're doing. Don't just watch somebody doing this stuff and just do it without thinking about it. Think about, is my elbow underneath that shoulder? Are my heels in line with that elbow? And then you take the bottom leg back and you bend it behind you. And then you're coming up. And all you're doing is lifting and lowering this leg. But this is pretty hard even without the band, to be honest. The point is that you're staying stable here. That as you bring this leg up, you're not pushing through that arm and getting this movement under here. You've got to stay absolutely still below. I'm gonna take a rest in between every session, every Tabata set of 10 seconds, but if you want to, you can hold here. I'm going down, and we are gonna alternate in between, so I'm gonna swivel round each time to set up for the next one. Okay, so getting started. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So a little movement. We're not working the top leg. Obviously that is working a little bit. We're aiming to be absolutely still. Don't know if you see. I'm absolutely still. My glute and my oblique is working big time for this stability. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to swivel round. Set up again. 3, 2, 1. Again. So you also want to be thinking about shoulders open. So not rolling forward. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching over again.
Rest.
Setting up. 3, 2, 1. So palm here is flat. If you're clenching, it means you're pushing through the shoulder. Should be absolutely flat. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm doing what is known as cheating by putting my foot on the floor, resting in between each one. This band's quite heavy for me at the moment. So ideally you're doing this without putting it down. I'm going to cheat because my glutes are absolutely screaming. But you keep going. Ignore me. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, time. Halfway.
Rest.
Whew. Killer. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Again, arm open through the chest, palm flat. Don't cheat it. 10 seconds. Stable. We're looking for stability. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. So these kind of exercises for your obliques can be much more effective than sometimes anything that you're using with weight. 3, 2, 1. Because you know that actually all you're working is this oblique here and the glute under here. So if any of you have ever had runner's knee and been told to do clam exercises, anyone? Ever had millions and millions of clams to do, been given by a physio? Anyone? Really boring, and it's really easy to do wrong. This is a much better way and more effective. As research has actually shown, they've done some studies that this exercise, side plank, is more effective for your glute med than a clam. And it's less, it's harder to get it wrong with this. Clam, you can do it wrong. 3, 2, 1, rest. Whew. Oh, my glutes. Okay. Over to the other side. Palm flat. Nice alignment. 10 seconds. I'd love to know if any of you managed to get it done all the way through with a band without having a little rest like I'm doing. 3, 2, 1, rest. Oh, that's a killer. Okay, gonna go over. I'm gonna take the band off for this one. Oh, that's the end of that tabata. We're gonna go over onto our backs again, and we're gonna go into glute max again. Again, we're thinking about the core when we're doing this. So when people think about the core, they're often thinking, oh, I should feel a burn. That's abs, which is your rectus abdominis here that you feel. With your core, that big muscle that goes all the way around and attaches into your back, it's the pelvic floor, transverse abdominis, obliques, glute muscles, all of that is all considered core. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze up into a bridge, and then you're going to lift and lower with control, one leg at a time. Again, aiming for that tabletop position before you put your leg down. So slowly with control. Again, I'm putting my hands in the air, or you can put them on your ribs because you want these ribs to be soft. People can start doing this, try and come up, and that's cheating. You're using your upper back to keep you up, and it just causes a pinch in your lower back. You want the glutes to work, not your upper back. So, same thing again. 8 rounds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest in between. In between, for your 10 seconds, you can put your legs down and then just try to reach for the top of your knees, so you are now getting a bit of rectus abdominis work at the same time. Sorry, there comes the bin men again. Okay, start again, 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lift and lower. Think about that lift coming from your core rather than swinging your leg out. So really nice and controlled. As one leg goes up, you don't drop through the hips. So if you had your belt here, that belt would be level. 3, 2, 1, and then reach. So little pulse. So again, my arms are straight. I'm not doing this. Arms are straight. 3, 2, 1. Coming up. So lift and lower. Hands on your ribs. Keep it nice and soft. How slowly can you do this? 3, 2, 1. Coming down and reach. So no bent arms doing this. Bit of a, what's he called? Was it Frank Cooper? Just like that. Show my age. Lift and lower. Nice and slow. Are your ribs popping, or are they nice and soft? Your aiming for nice and soft. So really slow movement. 3, 2, 1. Lift and reach. So you're aiming for at least wherever you put your heart rate monitor. If you had a heart rate monitor, it wouldn't be touching the floor now. So shoulders, bra strap off the floor. 3, 2, 1. And again, coming up. Seem to be moving backwards. Full step. Oh, sorry guys, I don't think that is the bin men. I think we've got like a roadworks going on. It's just started. 3, 2, 1. And down and reach. So try and stay up. Roll your pelvis away from you. Make sure you're not trying to curl yourself up. You're using your core. 3, 2, 1. Coming up and into that march again. Again, if you've just joined, then the reason my hands are in this funny position is because you don't want to use pushing into your hands or your upper back to make yourself come up. 3, 2, 1, and reach. So if you can't, if you're down here, that's fine. Just try and stay up so your shoulders at least are off the floor. If you can't get to your knees, don't feel like, oh, I can't do it, therefore I'll stop. Just aim to get your shoulders off the ground. Reach as far as you can, but keep that arm straight so that you know, you can see how far you're reaching up line of your legs. And then each time, just try to get a little bit higher. Or as you progress, you can start seeing, if you reach your knees and you start here, that's great. Again, squeezing up, soft ribs. One leg at a time. Good. 3, 2, 1. And rest.
Rest.
And reach. So little breath. 3, 2, 1. Coming up.
Work.
One leg at a time. So again, to make this harder, you could hold a kettlebell or a weight overhead here, just to make it harder. But don't do that if you're struggling and you're having to do this because you can't lift your leg with any control. Work until you can get the full.
Tabata complete.
Last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're just going to come up to sit.
Stopping section.
Stretching before you go. So work until you can do that fully before you add weight, because adding weight when you can't do that version is not beneficial. Another part of your body will start working to kick in, and we're working the glutes. That's the target. Okay, so you're going to take your feet right to the edges of the mat, or if you haven't got a mat, imagine you're on a mat, and then flex the feet. So it's not cross-legged because it's much wider. My feet are right now